Hey everyone, Victor is here, and in this video I want to talk about the cope elimination, which uses the nitrogen-based leaving group to force the syn elimination, giving us the corresponding alkene. So let's look at the mechanism of this reaction. And the mechanism in the cope elimination is going to have two distinct phases. And in the first part of the mechanism we are going to be doing the oxidation reaction. The starting point for the cope elimination is always going to be a tertiary amine, where the nitrogen atom is typically connected to two methyl groups, although other examples have been reported. And as our oxidation agent here we are going to be using MCPBA, which you might remember from the epoxidation of alkenes or maybe Baeyer-Villiger oxidation. So the first thing that's going to happen here, the nitrogen being a good nucleophile, going to do the nucleophilic attack on the oxygen, breaking our oxygen-oxygen bond, giving us the following intermediate. Then the carboxylate that we have floating around going to come in, deprotonate our intermediate, giving us the following product, which we are going to refer to as either amine oxide or just an oxide if you like. There is, however, an alternative oxidation technique that you might see in your course, and that one is going to be in the presence of the hydrogen peroxide. From the mechanistic perspective, that oxidation is going to be fairly similar. We are going to take our hydrogen peroxide and we are going to do the nucleophilic attack from our nitrogen onto oxygen, breaking the oxygen-oxygen bond, giving us this intermediate here, which, like in the previous case, we are going to deprotonate in this case with the hydroxide, like so, giving us our final product, our nitrogen oxide or amine oxide. Now, once we have our oxidation product, this guy over here, we are going to proceed to the next part of our mechanism, which is going to be the elimination itself. And an interesting part of this elimination is going to be the fact that this nitrogen-containing group over here is going to serve as a leaving group and as a base at the same time. So the way it's going to work, I'm going to show the protons that I'm going to be working with, and I'm going to take the negatively charged oxygen and pull one of those protons off, making the following cascade of the electron density, essentially breaking my carbon-nitrogen bond over here and giving me the following products. In this case, I have my double bond, which I have right over here, and I have my hydroxylamine, which is the co-product that we don't really care about. A couple of important things to keep in mind here about this reaction is that this step is not spontaneous. It does require a significant amount of heat, typically somewhere around 160 to 180 degrees centigrade, which could potentially be detrimental for some molecules because not every organic substance is going to be able to withhold that temperature. Also, another thing to note here is that the reaction typically tends to give the less substituted double bond, which we know as the Hofmann products. Finally, as I've mentioned, this is the syn elimination, which means that the leaving group, our nitrogen oxide, and the hydrogen must be on the same side of the molecule. And that will be best illustrated if we are dealing with the cyclic molecule. So let's look at this example over here, where I have my cyclic molecule, I have my amine, and I have some other stuff sitting on my molecule. So the very first thing that's going to happen here is the oxidation of the nitrogen, so I'm going to draw the product of that oxidation right away. Now, from this point, we have several different hydrogens in the beta position. I'm going to draw all of them and I'm going to color code them so it's a little bit easier to reference them. In this case, my green hydrogen over here, this guy is on the wedge, the same as my base/leaving group, so the green hydrogen is what we're going to refer to as the syn hydrogen, while the blue and the pink hydrogens, those are my antihydrogens. And since this is a syn elimination, my oxygen is going to come in and pull pull off the green hydrogen specifically because that is the only syn hydrogen available to us, and in this case we are going to get the following final product. So if I were to compare that to a typical elimination reaction where, let's say, my leaving group is a simple halide or something of that sort, I'm going to have all the same hydrogens, so I'm going to draw all of them. But we remember that for the typical E2 reaction, we have a different situation where the leaving group, bromine in this case, must be anti to the hydrogen, so in this case we're going to be targeting the blue or pink hydrogen, which means that if I were to bring my base around, that base can come in, pull one of those anti-hydrogens, like so, giving me a, well, different product in this case. And while I could attempt to force the formation of the less substituted bond here by using a bulkier base, I'm still going to get a mixture of products, so it's not going to be as efficient as the Cope elimination, which only has one option, giving you the syn elimination, and there is only one hydrogen that we can pull off, giving us the product that we want. So the Cope elimination, due to the requirements of this mechanism being the strict syn elimination, gives us an option to even more finely tune our reaction and control it the way we want, making it a powerful tool in your synthetic arsenal. So have you ever seen the Cope elimination before? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching. If you learned something new today, boop that like button and subscribe for future updates. Check out this video next, and I will see you next time.